Developments in the war against Iran, with word now just into us that the U.S. military has hit 2 locations in Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. We've got a map made, I think, where we can show you these locations. You see them here. A U.S. official tells our team that these strikes were defensive. Defensive strikes doesn't mean the U.S. is picking back up combat operations. Matt Bradley is in Tel Aviv, which I think is super important here, Matt, because I think people hear, okay, new strikes against Iran. Does this mean that the hot war is back on? Help us understand the difference now between these defensive strikes and why they happen and what we know about them versus the alternative.
Well, Hallie, I think that only the Trump administration really knows the difference between those 2 kinds of strikes, because we've been seeing back and forth different messaging. Obviously, since all of this began in late February, there had been all this talk, all this concern over the past week that with 3 aircraft carrier strike groups in the region, the most in years, that there was going to be a resumption of hostilities as long as these negotiations didn't work out. So you could be forgiven for thinking that these strikes might be the U.S. going back to war with Iran. But as you said, it doesn't look like U.S. officials are saying that to NBC News. They're going out of their way to say that these were defensive, that this is not restarting the war, and that those Gulf countries, particularly Saudi Arabia, which NBC News had reported was the one who really stood in front of that Operation Freedom that the President Trump had kind of laid out as a way to try to free some of those cargo ships and other vessels from the Strait of Hormuz. The president went back on that, and it looks like, from what we're hearing now from U.S. officials and from other reporters who have been talking to U.S. officials like Fox News, who broke this story just a moment ago, that they're seeing that this is not going to be restarting the war, and that this is basically, possibly, part of that pressure by those Gulf countries, by American allies in the region who are now very much in the crosshairs of the Iranians, and that this strike might have been retaliation for those Iranian attacks against some of those Gulf states over the past week. Again, surprising everybody and really bringing this situation back to the edge of real war. But we're hearing no casualties, no injuries, no dead. And this is the Iranians speaking. So it does look as though this could pass maybe without any real offensive back.
And I should note, Matt, as you were speaking, we got a note, and I know that's when you're looking at the camera, you're not looking at your phone, but our Courtney Kuby, our Pentagon correspondent, says that a U.S. official says that the U.S. military strikes there were in response to an Iranian attack on U.S. ships, Matt. So a little bit more context on that there, to your point about the back and forth here. Matt, thank you for scrambling for us tonight with these late-breaking developments on the war. Appreciate that.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.